Hello, Amanda Craven here, and today I want to talk to you about customizing your PLR and specifically focusing in on customizing some of those graphics, because I know that many of you find that a rather difficult thing to do. And the whole point behind customizing PLR is to make it more valuable for you, to earn more money from it. So it is an essential part of the process. So let's take a look. First of all, you need to edit the essentials. You need to change the cover and the graphics. Now I'm going to go on to talk to you for a few minutes about why you should do that, but that's one of the most basic things you can do to instantly set your PLR apart, and you can do it really simply. Another thing you need to do is to add in your own examples or quotes or case studies or links to the text. The reason being that I always look on our text as a framework, a skeleton. And I've shown you before how you can simply look at the index of a PLR ebook, and that gives you a very good outline, not only for your own products, but also for laying out PowerPoint slides you might want to extract from that book, videos and so on. And I will be showing you exactly how to do that in later lessons. But for now, I want you to think that adding in your own material to what is essentially your framework, your PLR framework, is a very quick and simple way of making it unique. And those case studies can be taken from, for example, if you're promoting a product, they could be taken from that product, from even the promo materials. But if you add that in, you add in some quotes from delighted customers, some testimonials, some valuable links, then you're adding value. And that means that the more value you add, the more you can get back, whether it's, in terms of hard cash for selling your product or goodwill from your subscribers. And another thing you should do is reformat the layout. Now, again, this can be really simple. You can just chop it up. You can divide an ebook like the one I've created for the Lose £10 in 30 Days package. I've deliberately done it so you could just cut, say, the first part of the book, and that becomes a report in itself. And then I put in the separate diet plans, which are part of the whole workbook, but you can extract those out, although I've already done that for you. And if you get a similar ebook where you've got, for example, an introduction and a good weight of information up front, you can easily take that and just transform that into a shorter report, and then use the rest of the material, for example, as further posts for your subscribers, as content for emails, to form other ebooks, and so on. Be quite ruthless about chopping up. And when I mean, reformat, it can be as simple as turning one chunky paragraph into bullet points. Because by simply relaying something out, you can make it easier to read, which is great, but it also means your reader will not, even if they've seen similar material before, they won't feel jaded. They won't think, oh God, it's the same old stuff, because it looks different. You can add in some funky fonts. You can add in some more pictures. You can just jazz it up in really simple, quick ways. Now, below this video, I'm putting in a load of links for you to find all the stuff that you need to do this, and for free. So yes, I'm giving you ideas here, but it's then up to you to go and click on those links and grab the tools that you need. Now, when I talk about rebranding, one great example is if you take a generic painkiller, ibuprofen, and you can buy this in supermarkets here and in the States, all over the world. In my local supermarket, I can get the generic package, which is the more basic looking one, the ibuprofen 200 milligram tablets, and that's around 59 pence, less than $1. Whereas if you go and buy yourself some Advil, the branded variety, exactly the same stuff, even though, yes, it might be coated something, a slightly different coating. Maybe it comes as a capulate and not a tablet, but essentially it performs exactly the same function, and they can sell that for 3, 4, 5 times the price. Why? Because they branded it. It's in a prettier box. It's that simple. So if you take your PLR product, whether that's a video or an ebook or a report or whatever, and then repackage it simply by adding prettier pictures or prettier graphics or bolder, funkier, however you want to position your product, again, you're adding value. And if you look around you on the high street, online, that's exactly what people are doing every single day. And PLR is no different. So it's the same product, but it's different prices. And why? Because of the branding. Branding is what adds value, and if you add strong enough branding, you'll find more people buying. So how do you rebrand? Well, you can easily hire someone on Fiverr or on the Warrior Forum. Of course, you should check the reviews, and below I've added some suggestions of people I've actually used on Fiverr who I found very good. And it's that simple, you know, you pay your $5, you wait a couple of days, in some cases if you want to rush it through, 24 hours, and you get back a pretty slick job. Another thing you can do is do it yourself, and you can use Photoshop if you have it, or a bunch of free alternatives. And again, I'm providing links below to some of those so that you can go and change up the graphics that you get with your PLR package yourself. Or if you don't, you can create your own. And then, of course, you can do it yourself using PowerPoint, which is what I'm going to show you how to do here. And PowerPoint is pretty valuable because there are people who use it simply to create ebook covers these days. And that's for Kindle as well as for, you know, straightforward PDFs and so on. And I've added a link below to an article I already shared with some of my subscribers, which I think is pretty good. It's from a Kindle author, and it's how he created a very serviceable ebook cover using PowerPoint. But what I'm going to show you very quickly here is how I went ahead and did this myself using just the slides within the Lose 10 Pounds in 30 Days package. So you can see pretty easily and simply how to do it for yourself. And it also then will show you how to change up your cover slide, because a cover slide is a bit like an ebook cover, you know. It's interesting how when people see it, the cover of something, the first slide of something, the first shot of a film, that stamps it in their heads. And then what follows, well, that's, I hesitate to say not so important, but it isn't, because they've already decided what it is. You've given them the picture, and if that's different to everybody else's picture, you've got a brand new product. So let's just take a look. What I have here is the first slide that I created for the Lose 10 Pounds in 30 Days package. And here is how I changed it up within 5 minutes or so. And I'm just going to pause this, and then I'm going to take you over and show you how to do that live. Okay, so here we are within PowerPoint, and I have got what is at the moment the title slide. So what I'm first of all going to do is I'm going to go to Layout up here, and I'm just going to change that, I think, for a blank slide. Okay, so that instantly just takes out any of the background shapes and gives me the generic blank slide for this particular PowerPoint layout. So then obviously I'm going to take out the pictures because I want it to look completely different, and then I'm just going to grab, oops, I'm not going to grab that, I'm going to grab the text over here and drag it over just to reposition it, and I'll be doing something else with that in a second. So now I obviously want to insert my new picture, which I do here, and I'm going to stretch that so it covers most of the space because it blends nicely there with that blue. And now what I'm going to do, if I right click on this picture, I'm going to send it to the back. Now don't worry about this, I'll just take out that box, and now look, you see we have this text overlaid on this picture. Now obviously that doesn't look bad at all, but if I want to change up the text color just to make it look completely different, we'll go for this orangey because that picks up the orange below, and I think I chose Britannic Bold there, and then I even just kind of reposition that text there, and I also changed up what it said just slightly. So there you have it, you've got drop £10 in just 30 days, a completely different looking title slide. Now what you can do if you wanted to change that into, shall we say, a book cover, if we just click off here, you can simply go to File and then Save As to wherever you want to save it. I'll save it to my Lose 10 Pounds folder, and then if I then want to save it as a JPEG and click Save, it's going to ask me Oh yes, I have already saved this one, but let's just go over that. It asks you which slides do you want to export. Now you can export them all as pictures. I just want to export this one. And now that I've exported it, I can happily crop that in something such as Photoshop or Paint if you want to use it, and turn that into a pretty serviceable ebook cover as well. So that's just one way of using PowerPoint. Please do check out the link below and have a read through of the article on it as well, and I shall be back soon with another customization video.